Welcome back to Jessi FIT Pilates, your home to get fit, toned, and flexible as we strengthen, stretch, and smile. We are doing a Wunda Chair workout. It's going to be intermediate to advanced. I've got a ball. I might use some weights. The weights are optional. We're going to start with the springs, both of them attached. And I'm going to go up on the balance body, 1 on 3 and 1 on 4. So I'm going to go for this really heavy footwork. Your chair may vary, and I'm going to have a seat on top, and I'm going to place my heels onto that pedal. I'm just going to place my ball between my thighs, and I'm just going to take a second and round my spine, and then arch it. And I'm keeping the pedal lifted. And then round, round, round. And then arch. And now I'm going to do that with my hands by the nape of my neck. And I'm going to start to press that pedal down. I'm going to get a good grip, and I'm going to lift it all the way up and then press. I'm going to try to keep my spine as still as possible. And I'm trying to lift that pedal all the way up, and I am trying to stay parallel. I'm going to hold in the little pulses down and up. And then hold and squeeze that ball. Now I'm going to bring that pedal up, and I'm going to go to heels together, toes apart on my toes. I'm going to reach my hands forward for this round. And I'm just pressing and lifting that pedal. And I'm pressing and lifting that pedal. Now I'm going to push that pedal down, and I'm going to twist one way. I'm going to lift the pedal up, and I'm going to untwist, and then I'll twist the other way. And I'm going to try to stay as still as I can on my spine. Now I'm going to hold one side and pulse. I'm going to take my hands by the nape of my neck, and then squeeze, and then other side. Now hold and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now I am going to bring it up all the way, and I'm going to put my ball aside. Now I had it set to that really heavy setting so that I could send my weight into the chair pedal and sort of balance on it, and it would be heavy enough not to drop. And you see I'm doing this nice squat, and I can lift my heels. That makes it quite a bit more challenging. And then I'm going to try some of my feet together, and then I'm going to try one leg. 2 more, and then I'm going to swap it out, down and up, down and up. And I'm going to take my hands, and I'm going to send that pedal all the way down, 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 down. And I am going to take that pedal all the way up. And we're going to go to bridges. I'm going to take the highest spring off, so that's going to leave me 1 spring on 3 for my bridge today. And I'll keep my ball close. And let's place our feet onto the pedal. Let's bring the ball above our chest. I'm going to keep that pedal lifted. I'm going to roll down and up. Up and down through my spine, keeping that pedal lifted. Now I'm going to take my arms, I'm going to reach them back and then bring them in, the ball in between my thighs. I'm going to go the heels together, toes apart, and I'm going to lift and lower my hips, little pulses. 3, 2, now I'm going to hold and I'm going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Now I'm gonna get a better grip and I'm gonna push and release that pedal. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm gonna take my hips all the way down and I'm gonna lighten this to level 2. And I think I'm gonna put the ball aside for right now. And I'm gonna bring my left arch is on the pedal and my right foot is gonna be on that tabletop. And I'm gonna lift and lower my hips. I'm gonna bring my arms up. You can have yours up or down. And I'm hinging my hips up or down and I'm really working hard to stay balanced on both sides. Now hold it. I'm gonna push the pedal down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm gonna send my weight to my pedal leg and I'm gonna lower and lift my tabletop leg. I'm gonna go 4, 3, 2. I'm gonna hold and pulse up and down. Nice deep breaths. Now I'm gonna swap out my sides. And I'm gonna come all the way down for a second. I'm gonna take a deep breath in. I'm gonna come up and down. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm gonna hold up at the top and I'm gonna push and release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are intense. And then that other leg, I'm gonna lift and lower. Tabletop leg. Deep breaths. 5 to go. 4, 3, 2. I'm gonna hold and pulse. I'm gonna take that foot down and I'm gonna come all the way down. Let's do a figure 4 stretch before we move on. I'm gonna bring an ankle across my thigh. And then the other ankle. And now I'm gonna put the ball between my thighs again, or my knees. I'm gonna bring my toes onto the pedal. And I'm gonna take a second and really find neutral spine, right? So I'm gonna rock forward and back, and then really memorize that space between my low back and my mat. I'm actually gonna slide back a little bit more. I want my knees about up under my hips. And I'm gonna take my hands by the nape of my neck, and I'm gonna keep that neutral spine and start to crunch up and release. And I'm really working hard not to tip my tailbone up and go into that flat back position. And now I'm gonna push the pedal. I'm holding my chest up, and I'm pushing and releasing the pedal. I have the ball between my thighs and I'm squeezing it, which I'm not really centered, that's better. Now I'm gonna hold and I'm gonna lift my chest as I push on the pedal. Keep that neutral spine, then release. Push, release. Now I'm gonna hold and I'm gonna squeeze the ball. Now I'm gonna make that ball is about to go, but I'm gonna take my right leg and I'm gonna reach it up. I'm gonna take my left hand and reach it down and up, down. And I have a little tension on that pedal the whole time. Now I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna squeeze that ball in. I'm gonna pulse up and I'm twisting my hand towards that opposite foot now, both at the same time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for 3, 2, 1. Other foot goes down, I've got a little tension on it. I'm gonna bend, stretch. And I'm squeezing that ball. 2 more. Now hold, and I'm gonna squeeze the ball, my leg into the ball. And then I'm gonna go up, 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 then both at the same time. Both. Lift and squeeze, lift and squeeze, lift and squeeze, lift and squeeze, lift and squeeze. Awesome, I'm gonna take that ball aside and I'm gonna come onto all fours. And I'm gonna put my hands on top of that pedal. I'm gonna take a nice child's pose. And from here, I'm going to put the mat aside. I'm going to grab a set of weights. I'm not going super heavy. And I'm going to keep that spring on level 2. And I'm going to push the pedal down with it'll be your right foot if you're mirroring me. I'm going to push and lift it a few times. Now I'm going to push it down and I'm going to set my other foot apart and I'm going to try to be parallel. Now I'm going to go down into this squat position and then come up. And I'm going to really try to keep my arms, or my hips rather, right over. I'm going to try to keep the pedal down. Now I'm going to hold and pulse, and I'm going to go into this little alternating bicep curl. Now from here, I'm going to lift and lower my floor foot. And I'm going to hold that heel up and I'm going to pulse up and down. I'm going to take my arms into this external rotation. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and put the weights aside. I'm going to lift the pedal and I'm going to put another spring on. And I'm going to go with, I've got 1 on 2, I'm going to go 1 on 2, 1 on 3. Your mileage may vary. Remember, higher will make things a little bit easier, more weight. Now I'm going to put my outside leg onto the pedal and my inside leg behind it. I'm going to take my hands around and I'm going to go into the side pike and then lift and lower. I'm going to come off my heels and I'm going to hold and I'm going to bend and stretch. Now from here, I'm going to hold out and I'm going to keep the pedal down and I'm going to just lift and lower my back leg. And I'm going to hold it there and I'm going to see if I can lift and lower on that leg. And then I'm going to see if I can lift my bottom leg at the same time as I lift that pedal for 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to lower the pedal. I'm going to lift and lower that bottom heel. And then from there, I'm going to drop my heels down and I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to lift the pedal up. I'm going to go for my weights and I'm going to push that pedal down and up. Oh, actually, I'm going to lighten that spring. For this part, go back to 2. And now I can lift and lower that pedal. I'm going to try to get my whole heel on there now. And then I'm going to push it down and I'm going to step out. And I'm going to start my squats. I'm keeping that pedal pressing down the whole time. And I'm adding some bicep curls in. And then I'm going to hold and pulse and I'll split my arms. And I'm going to hold down and I'm going to lift and lower my bottom heel. And I'll hold it up and pulse down, up. And I'm going to go back to those external shoulder rotations. Now I'm going to bring the pedal up carefully. I'm going to add that other spring on. I put my weights aside. I'm going to 2 and 3. And I'm going to step onto that pedal. And I'm staggering my feet. I try to put the heels down and I'll lift the pedal and then lower. And then I'm going to go to my heels up. making it a little harder, and I'm really leading with that outside hip. And then from here, I'm gonna turn and face the chair. And I'm gonna send my weight into my other leg. And I'm gonna see if I can lift my other foot off. It's my left. And I'm gonna start to lift it and lower my leg with the pedal. And then I'm gonna take it down. Keep that leg up and drop and lower the heel. And then from here, I'm gonna feed into that side pike. I think I left these out. 3, 2, 1. Now, I'm gonna grab my weights and my ball. I'm gonna drop this down to that light spring again. And I am gonna come to a plie position. I might need to play around with the ball. And I'm going to be turned out, heels up high. I'm gonna come to my hug position, and I'm gonna drop into this plie. Both heels really lifted, really working on my balance. Very challenging. 4 to go. 3, 2. I'm gonna hold, and I'm gonna just lift and lower the arms. 2 more. 1 more. Now, I'm gonna lift the pedal all the way up. I'm gonna put my hand down just for balance. And I am going to send the ball aside. And I'm gonna keep my foot up on the pedal. And now I'm gonna try to keep that pedal lifted. And I'm gonna lunge down and up. And then I'm gonna turn and face my mat. I really need the whole thing. And I've got that on a pretty light spring. So I'm gonna see if I can hold it down and go into a knee pull-in. And from there, I'm going to lift the pedal all the way up. Probably not the most graceful thing I've ever done. And I'm going to put my foot up, and I'm going to go into those lunges on this side. And now I'm going to grab the ball. And I'm gonna bring the pedal down. I'm gonna come into my turnout. I'm gonna bring my heel up on that ball. And I'm gonna turn out on both sides. And I'm gonna have my arms in this reach position as I go into the plie. I'm gonna hold, and I'm gonna pulse, and I'm gonna take my arms out to the sides. And then I'm gonna lift that ball aside, and I'm gonna come to the squat. And I'm gonna squat down and up. Now I'm going to turn, and I'm going to face the chair, and I'm going to bring this end of my foot on it, and I'm going to press it down and up with a straight leg. And I'm going to see if I can reach my arm out and then in. And I'm gonna come to the other side. And in this round, I'm gonna see if I can get my arms over my head. Now we're gonna keep it on that light spring. And we're gonna I'm gonna slide the chair away from that mirror quite a bit. And we're gonna go into our side series. And I'm coming into this big stretch. And I'm gonna try to keep my foot on that floor, and I'm just taking this big, deep stretch and this twist. And then I'll bring it up, and I'm gonna do the other side. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm happy to do more chair workouts. I have the chair. If this is what you want to see, then I'm happy to do it. Have a Wonder Woman workout.